Hey, AfterBuzz TV. On today's GH Report, we're going to be talking about why nursing and rapping don't mix, a good old-fashioned catfight, and the total ridiculousness of the red carpet that is the Nurses' Ball. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, yes! Woo! Look at that!
Hey, look at the lights!
Woo! The party's going on!
Hey!
Look at that. James Ladder's out, and we're partying right here in the GH Report. Hey, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV and the GH Report. Look at that. We're going to be breaking down the week that was here in Port Charles. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. As you can see, James Lett Jr. is not with us. He is on vacation. Yes. Or sabbatical, I guess, as he's talking, perhaps. Yes.
We still miss you, James.
Do we? No, of course we do. Yes. But meanwhile, the three of us will be breaking down everything that happened. Right next to me, we have the lovely and talented Ladine Harvey.
Hi, guys. You can find me on Twitter at Ladine_Harvey and my Facebook page, Ladine Harvey.
Ooh, and at the end of the panel there, manning the chat room, we have Lacretia Lyon.
And of course, guys, if you can spell it, it's Lacretialyon. I get tired of doing that too, guys. Anywhere on the internet. Since there is only one. I was like, I'll just finish it.
She almost started spelling my name.
Yeah, I'm like, where am I?
Now, as I said, Lacretia has got the chat room right there in front of her. So, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, hop on the YouTube channel, hop in the chat, join us here, share your thoughts about everything that happened this week in Port Charles, most specifically the Nurses' Ball. We'll be really getting into that as well. So, yes. And then make sure, in our constant support, to get up to 2,000 likes. Yeah. 2,000.
Yes.
Likes on our Facebook
We can
page.
do it. We can do it.
We can do it. Curious. Sadly, I forgot to get a current tally, but I'm sure we're so close. We're so close.
Oh my gosh, Frank.
So yes, we'll be talking about everything that happened here in Port Charles, and I mean, let's just get right into it because it is my favorite time of the year. It is the Nurses' Ball, and holy cow, this thing is bonkers. This is bonkers. Just for 1 second, I constantly ranted about this, and this is the week that it was. Why this red carpet exists for this, it makes absolutely no sense to me. I can't imagine any small town, and I mentioned Port Charles, a small town, right? I kind of think it's kind of posed as a small town, adjacent to New York City somewhere, that somehow this warrants television coverage, live television coverage of arrival of nurses that no one has ever heard of. Yes. Even if you lived in that town, how many nurses and doctors do you know? You could not name more than maybe the nurse that you go to, nurse and doctor that you immediately see. Right. Most likely, on average, everybody could.
I just think it was really cheesy that they were kind of introducing everyone as they were coming in, like Jason Morgan, the mobster. You know what I mean? I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
Well, I unfortunately grew up in a place very similar to Port Charles. I mean, we did have the mob and a lot of hospitals, so never so much live TV coverage, even though we did have public access, but there were red carpets for people you didn't care about.
Oh my gosh.
And so there are a lot of crazy stuff like that, but Nina's correspondence at least was funny.
Yeah, I see Amanda Pinal just said that she loved Nina on the red carpet. I just felt she was a bit awkward. I thought
it was funny.
Honesty was a bit much on the red carpet. Come on, Nina.
Well, and I also think what drove me crazy is we have Abby Boudreau, I think, from GMA. She, for some reason, I can only imagine in the world of this, where she's on Good Morning America and the producers come to her, hey, guess what? You're going to Port Charles to do this live red carpet arrival for this Nurses' Ball. I would be like, are you basically kind of phasing me out of GMA? Because why am I going to this ridiculous event? Oh, my goodness. It's always so awkward.
Simran said what Nina said. Ava Jerome, noted homewrecker. I thought that was the funniest line ever.
And her sleazy lawyer. It's
all of that. Oh, the burn on Scott. I have to say, at least that was entertaining. Right.
It was entertaining, but I was like, whoa, this is a lot.
I was worried we were going to lose our jobs to Michelle.
And, you know, poor Abby, not really having much to do for this red carpet, other than, like, I do like the scene where Felix shows up, and they have a little moment, him and Donnie kind of flirt for a second with each other. They have that long look, and then it just cuts over to Abby, and she's like, what? What is happening here? All right, so we have the red carpet arrivals, and just starting off, because we have them backstage getting ready. Lucy's there. Amy, our new nurse, Amy. Here.
God.
This week, pretty
So
much,
dreadful.
I've had my fill of Amy.
Well, I've had my fill with her since the first time I saw her on the screen.
I know, like, I got some hate last week for not liking Nurse Amy, but hopefully more people are in agreement after just, like, she's the worst.
screw up.
Great singer at the end, I will give her credit, but just...
I didn't even understand that. Like,
she makes Maxie look less ditzy. I mean, I guess is that
True.
the purpose? Because I love
True.
Maxie being ditzy. It's cute when she does it, but...
I mean, it's supposed to be nice. I don't know. And it's been so long since I've seen, like Amy Vining's on the show. And I mean, I'm not up to date like on my Amy. When she was really heavily on the show, was she as just kind of annoying as this?
No, I don't, because I think that was before I was even born. And I kind of remember, like, you know, hearing about it, but I mean, I doubt it. I mean, she was a beloved character. Could she be that annoying and be beloved?
Yeah, it's just like, I felt like certainly the little sprinkles that they had for the past couple weeks where she'd kind of like serve as the audience, where she'd kind of fill in people on other like noted characters' backstories. Like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what all this. But this week, my goodness, I felt like
they put everybody under the bus this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oof.
Well, and to me, it was just, what is her purpose of that? Like, I get that we like people who can throw in a little bit of history, but this was just mean, and it's like, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I there was just sadly too much of Nurse Amy for my taste. And the one other thing, especially if we're talking about small towns and red carpet arrivals, but in small towns, I guess gossip spreads. Pretty much everybody knows everybody's business. Man, this whole thing about Griffin being a priest, it's just what everybody's just like. Oh, hey, priest. Hey, I know you're a priest.
At least when Finn did it, it was funny.
It was funnier than anyone else.
Yeah.
Priest?
Yeah. Like, what is the big deal about being a priest?
I
like,
thought something was going to go wrong with the wedding, and, you know, he was going to have to be the one to, you know,
Step in and save the day.
But what is this about? It has to be coming soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you met somebody and then a few weeks later you find out, hey, oh, he also used to be he is a priest, but he doesn't want to talk about it.
Everyone in the hospital knows? Like, why is that so important?
I guess it's because this hospital is much like Seattle Grace on Grey's Anatomy. I mean, it is a soap opera where they're like, this priest thing is weird because that means you don't want to have sex with everyone. And that's really what I guess that it is that it's confusing them because it's a soap opera and that's how everybody is. And so they're like, why would this dude be a priest?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's, I feel like, okay. I mean, and maybe, I assume there's a reason that they introduced this to Griffin's character.
Right.
I mean, other than just to get him in the scene to do last rites, the fact that he's Duke's son and he had to do last rites for Carlos.
To make him sexier to me is really what I'm...
Oh, so finding out he was a priest made him even sexier?
Really?
Ed Norton and Keeping the Faith. It's not that weird, guys. Like,
It turned me off just a little bit. For some reason, I just don't buy it. Like, to throw him being a priest or used to be a priest, I don't know. It was just a little bit new for me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and to not take us too off topic, but the chat did answer us on Amy Vining. Danielle Graff said she was annoying, but in a Spinelli lovable kind of way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we know.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that. I'm finding this version of Nurse Amy not to be as lovable in that Spinelli
No,
way.
I agree, Frank.
No, just crazy for me here on this. Then we also have not enough Kin Shriner this week, but we do get a little dose as we're leading into the Nurses' Ball of back in Ava's place, where Scotty shows up in the sweet dark blue tux.
Yes.
And you can, I already like that he can tell that it's not looking good for him sticking around for very much longer. But he's not going to let Ava like show him the door yet. He's always coming up with some excuse to like, oh, I'll go get the tickets. Like, excuse me for a second.
I do love that Scotty actually fits with them, especially because Franco's sort of their family. I mean, and so to have Scotty involved with him actually works, and they're sort of this quirky new family unit of the Jeromes and the Baldwins. And so I kind of like that they all sat together too at the ball, and
I'm only bummed though that because they had such a potential setup when they had him sleeping on the couch, he was supposedly part of the protector, and it was such an interesting dynamic. And they'd never really done much with it.
Right, because when I seen him, I was like, "Whoa, he's back!" You know.
Yeah.
We see a lot of
hopefully
Ava,
there's
but we
more.
don't see too much of them in their business that they have going on.
Yeah, because I mean, you feel like when you see Laura and Kevin Collins, kind of, you know, although it's been a little slow going, you feel like they're setting them up for some kind of cool storyline.
Right.
And so I was hoping the fact when you started getting Scotty introduced with Ava, that like meant like, oh, hey, all right, maybe there's something going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, because I just wonder if maybe it's like a scheduling conflict with Ken Schreiner, because I know he does a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I would like to see more. And I think, you know, it seems to be the chat's agreeing as well as us here. They like the dynamic of Scotty and Ava.
Yeah, 'cause I do like the idea that she could at some point fall for him, but I also at the same time be incredibly frustrated by him as well. Just like, how can I'm in love with some guy that it frustrates me as much as it turns me on, which I think that feel like that's Scotty Baldwin. Let's
That's Scotty's move.
Yeah.
Franco had the naked man. Scotty is annoying.
And we'll eat a lot of steak. So then I do like that we have Liesel getting ready for her moment there in the nurse's ball, where she's going to use puppets.
And do the Sound of Music. See, that might have actually been better than some of the choices we had.
Oh, man, yes. But she gets kidnapped by a bunch of guys in masks, by nurse.
You know, for a split second, I thought that was a part of her act. And that they were going to carry her on stage. I don't know. I just thought, oops, there she go again.
So luckily, she is taken away. I did not need to see another. I mean, as talented as she is and as charming she is, I mean, she came in, you know, Lacretia can vouch how awesome she is.
Yes, Kathleen is wonderful, guys. We want to keep Albright.
Yes, but I just did not need to see another song by Dr. Obrick again.
I don't know. I'm still not feeling over it. I don't know.
I'm liking her.
I'm trying. I've been saying this for a while, but her character is just.
I like her
to do this.
Yeah, but see, I like her better when she's not in a position of authority, because I feel like she had.
Okay, I could agree.
Yeah, she can get anything she done wanted, and nobody could really say anything against her. But now that she's kind of, she's been demoted, I feel like she wants to still get her nose in a bunch of business, but she doesn't have the authority to make things happen.
Yeah, I think this is now more of an interesting dynamic. It's like her trying to work from beneath the authority to get Finn fired and stuff like that. That's why, I feel like she's going to be involved with this story a little bit more with him.
Yeah, because I feel like you can be more shady, do underhanded things if you don't have if you're not operating from a position of strength.
Right.
So all right, I feel like this is going to be better for her in the long run.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see where she goes, because right now I'm not really feeling. Well, I've been not really feeling her character all that much.
Hopefully the stuff that a little bit of things like I started liking when we had that scene as we talked about in the past with her and Nathan in the police department.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah. If we see a little bit more of that, it'd be nice to kind of warm her up, because I mean she was painted as so.
All I see her is like, I'm not seeing a different side of her. So
yeah, especially the way she came on. I mean, she's part of kidnapping Robin for all this length of time. I mean, she was kind of unrepentant about all that.
Right.
And then next she's in this torrid love affair with Faison. Yeah, it's like, ugh. And she's a horrible mother to Britt.
Yeah.
Just in her own. I mean, I guess in her own way she did love her, but the way she demonstrated that was just so like, ugh. So it'd be nice to see what happens after that. So then we see Liz getting ready to come to the nurse's ball, and of course, just another thing with Amy, like she's constantly on her phone, bragging about everything, but then she trips Liz. Ankles don't fare well in Port Charles.
No.
I think we can agree with that.
Yeah, did Liz borrow Sam's shoes?
Luckily, Franco's there. Look
Yeah.
at that. Just swept her up in his arms. And
this is a disaster waiting to happen.
but I did like on the red carpet when they arrived, like the way she's just limping. She's really milking that limp on the way.
Like she really broke her ankle. Like you fell into a man's arm. Like nothing really happened to you.
Yeah.
Get on that stage and perform and go walk that red carpet, okay?
Now, did you enjoy her and Liz, her and Hayden wearing the same dress?
That was kind of
It was
funny. I was like,
okay.
that was at least like,
Right, it was like,
Yeah, like-
a chuckle moment.
not a full on.
Oh my god.
Because Hayden's dress was really pretty, but yeah.
Oh, okay, ladies.
I
like,
liked it on
okay.
Hayden.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a little oh my
Who
god
wore
moment.
it better, lady? Yeah.
No, I said I didn't have a oh my god moment.
No, you were like, oh my god.
No.
What was that?
I was just like, But I took notice of it, and
Yeah.
I thought I liked the way Hayden was wearing the dress.
Now, certainly, we've got our issues with Hayden and her and Hayden's relationship. But man, Nicholas just immediately just throwing her right under the bus on that red carpet.
Oh yeah, like Nicholas has become a real douche. I don't know
I'm
how
trying
to
to
put it any
figure this
nicer.
out. I'm trying to figure out where they're going with this. Where are the writers going with these two?
It's, I mean, just like, oh yeah, this is, she, yeah, this is really her real name. It's like, what? Okay, that. Even Hayden's like, why are you doing this to me? What's going on here? We're certainly where the week ends up, and we'll get to that with Hayden and Nicholas. That just took such a weird turn.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, wow, okay. So let's talk a little bit briefly about some of the great acts. Well, first, just so you know, the Nurses Ball brought to you by Vino.
Yes, many times did they say that.
We get our opening act for the Nurses Ball. This was terrible. I felt. I'm just going. We'll talk about some of the acts here. We'll just talk about if we liked them or not.
Okay.
I will come on and say that this opening rap number, with everybody talking about rapping about the history of
man.
General Hospital, was
Horrendous.
Yes. Oh, nurses.
That was the face. That was my
Ball.
face the whole time.
Welcome to the Nurses Ball. Oh.
You know what's crazy? My boyfriend doesn't watch General Hospital, but he said to me, "Are you watching Dancing with the Stars?" Because it was just so like, I don't know what was going on with these performances. Like,
Yeah, I was so disappointed in Dr. Maddox when he was involved in that opening number. I was just like, dude, no.
Dr. Matt Curtis, I was like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, why is he in there?
What are
Yeah.
y'all doing?
It's like, oh, I can't. Andre, come on, you're better than this.
I
aren't
Yeah,
you?
know.
yeah, that's why I
Yes.
was like, dude.
But it just seemed like they threw a little bit of everybody in these random numbers, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, they even let Brad do the nurses bit and then the
Yeah.
doctor. I was like, it was just a little odd.
Yeah, it's just, it was not an entertaining song at all. I felt. I was like, this is not getting me. And I don't know, it's like the people in there composing this rap, going through all like the trials and tribulations of General Hospital
Yeah,
throughout the years.
I know. And it's just like, the Richard Simmons had one before, but it was like, it was so cheesy, it worked. This was just, no.
Yeah.
They were trying to be cool.
Right.
Like when you're rapping about the misfortunes that have befallen the hospital throughout the years, I'm like, oh, all right. We'll talk about a virus that struck at a hospital. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, Sarah C says it was a nod to Hamilton. I guess, but I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda probably just shot himself if he saw that.
Guys, please, I don't need the shout out, guys. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. But then our first act for the Nurses Ball, I thought kicked it off in a spectacular fashion. This and Dylan's, we'll talk about in a minute, were probably my two favorite acts.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the
Yeah.
only good ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is Ned and Emma.
The cutest.
Yes, doing a little Elton John. Oh, man, I thought they were fantastic there.
Yeah, that
I
was adorable.
I still don't understand how she didn't win an Emmy.
No,
I know. Yeah.
She's
but the only thing, and this also confuses me about the Nurses Ball too, is that rehearsals, things like that. They flew into town, so Robin doesn't know that Emma's capable of all of this.
Right.
She's like, I didn't realize you could do all this. You should add singer to your things you want to be when you grow up. How did they get together? How did Lucy book Emma?
yeah.
How did they rehearse?
because they turned on the TV wherever they were, like they were gonna watch the Nurses Ball. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
And then they ended up showing up to the Nurses Ball.
yeah, the continuity there was odd, but again, that was the best number because I always loved Ned's numbers anyway.
Yeah.
And then to add little Emma, because her little duet with Patrick last year was probably my favorite of last year's. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is great because this is cute and it's entertaining, and they actually are really good at it
Right.
too.
No, and it's just really nice having her,
Yeah.
especially when they brought her on. And Anna's there by herself in the ballroom for a moment there, and then she surprises them.
Yeah.
That was
Just-
special.
Yeah, just excited
Yeah.
about that, but then also seeing Robin there. You see how much joy that Anna has getting a chance to get reunited with her girls, which I thought was great.
Yeah, and that was the thing, is it was so great to have Robin there because, when they first brought it back, like she was there, but it was just she could see it. But the thing is having her not there when this was based on her fight with HIV is just so odd. So I was glad that they were able to work that out. And yeah,
And
to have
actually
such a
let
good
her
family.
speak and say
Yeah.
something.
And her presence, as well as Emma's, gets other characters involved. For example, you get what's his name? Gosh, I forgot. Our priest.
Yeah, Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin. We get him with the next, because the relationship between him and Emma. Yeah, really cute.
Right.
So, but are you really a priest? Oh, enough of this priest. Enough of the priest talk already.
How does she know?
Yeah, everybody knows. Like that.
Yeah, that was
like
just
wildfire.
so odd. Like, why does everyone care?
That's how you know it's something really important coming up with this whole priest situation.
Yeah, I think it's because he's gonna break his vows with Maxie.
So that I was like, all right, Nurse's Ball, stop while you're getting started. Yeah.
Felicity, I think. I said Lulu, her number was bad, and I totally agree.
Oh, well, yes.
Lulu, sit down and never ever do that again.
Okay, so we'll jump over to the another. So we have Dante getting a phone call. It's Lulu who's on
So
stage.
cheesy.
Oh,
The cheesiest thing ever.
Then it's Milo getting a call from Epiphany. Then it's
that was bad.
Them singing, and then Epiphany coming out and singing. It's just, this was a terrible number. As talented a singer as Epiphany is, it was just like, ugh. And the choreography with Lulu and stuff like,
Yeah, it was odd. I know my mom is watching it with me because she was here this week, and she's like, "Why is Lulu standing next to Valerie? Like,
Yes.
like this has got to be awkward."
It's just so weird. And like, then you have Maxie out there just for a second, just kind of twirling around.
That's what
like,
I said. They just threw a little bit of everyone in there. Maybe they just needed some fill-ins. You know, they didn't have enough people.
No, not one of my favorite numbers. But another number if we're talking about Milo there for a second, the Magic Milo number. And I do like that when it turns out to be just like men and women dancing, and then they stop, and then it's like this like kind of confused, polite applause from everybody. Like, wait,
So
a minute,
like
is
they
this it?
didn't take off their clothes. Yeah, like okay.
And what also drove me crazy about this is that Griffin shows up and just because Emma's there, so he wants to see Emma. But then Lucy just grabs and says, "We need you. Somebody dropped out, so we need you here for this number."
Mm-hmm.
I can't do all this. I can't do this. Like, don't worry. So she kind of twists him into doing it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's part of this priest, part of the Magic Milo number, and he's already like doing his Magic Mike bit where he's just kind of like dancing right there, like, what?
How did you learn that?
Yes. It went from like 0 to like I'm gonna actually start performing like this in a heartbeat. I don't know.
I can't say that I had a problem with him dancing.
Yeah, not so much. It's just, I don't know. Like, he always had these little deep moments in the mirror looking at his scar, like he was, and then you go out in front of all these people with your shirt off.
Yeah, and Dante said no because he had a dad bod, and I actually was like, that was an adorable line, Dante.
I thought so too.
Part of me is wondering, like, how much is that really the actor, and how much is that like, oh, we're just gonna do a little bit joke? Because it's like, especially talking to Robert, where he's like, oh yeah, when you find you're gonna be doing a shirtless scene, I mean, you really gotta watch what you eat. You gotta hit this gym steady for a few days. Like, no, I don't want to get in that. Just tell him I got a dad bod. That's cool. I keep my clothes on, and it's all good. Just a lot of broing out and high fiving each other. Like,
Oh God.
oh, okay. I'm sure James really loved it because you get to see Curtis
Ripping
in there.
off the pants and
Of course, you gotta have Nurse's Ball on the butt cheeks. For
Yeah.
everybody, so yeah, I mean,
cheesy.
Yeah.
If I could have fast forwarded it, I would have.
one couple that kind of awkwardly applauded was, as we mentioned briefly for a second, Laura and Dr. Collins there.
Yeah.
Which I do like that Laura just kind of shows up and Kevin's just conveniently standing right outside. I just happen to have an extra ticket for this.
No.
As Laura just saying, I thought I would just come by and just, see if I could, still get in. Like, okay, sure. And I was waiting for them. So are you still pursuing that little mystery of yours? Luckily they didn't do that. Another act we have, Dylan and Kiki. I thought...
that was actually good.
That was really good.
Yes.
I cringed because I was like imagining myself in Michael's position. And I was just like, man, all bad.
Well,
I love how Morgan had to come back from the loony bin just to see that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you could clearly, like, that performance, you can clearly see the chemistry.
Yes, for sure.
Forget characters, like, they definitely work well together.
And I thought there was, like, for me, it seemed like there was, like, one moment there in part of the song where you really saw, like, Kiki, like, all of a sudden just dialed in.
Yeah, she was,
Where she's like, whoa, hold on. This guy's awesome. What am I doing?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually really like that because this act moved the story too. There was purpose to it to bring them together and get them
Oh yeah, I like that. And so we get to see Morgan doesn't quite pick up on it there until he wants to go backstage and say, "Hey, I'm going to go talk to her," and then sees the smooching.
My heart broke at that moment. I literally screamed, "No!"
Oh,
because I knew that whatever progress that he had, it was going to be destroyed once he saw that. Once he saw Kiki and Dylan like kiss one another, like it was too much for me. I couldn't watch it.
Oh, but I was so happy to see it happen.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yes.
I really
Why?
like them.
Why?
Yeah.
Do you not like Dylan and Kiki, or you just
I
like that
do,
Morgan saw it?
But I still, I don't know. I will always still love that emotional connection that Morgan and Kiki have. Although I do like Dylan and Kiki together.
See, Cheryl Hawk says Morgan needs someone older, and I totally agree, Cheryl. I wish that Brett would come back and, get on screen together with a real life fiance, Brian.
Yeah, I find the Morgan and Kiki thing annoying to me, and I feel like it's such a repetitive cycle of the two of them. And
I don't know. I see it differently.
Really?
Yeah, I think when Haley Aaron came on, she was a better fit with Morgan, but this relationship has just been destroyed over and over again, and not just with Ava and all that. Just a matter of they need to be apart. Neither one of them has really been in a relationship with anyone else since the character of Kiki was created. And Morgan even came on as an adult. So it really needs to work into them being apart and maybe bring them back together eventually. But yeah.
I agree with Sarah. Sarah C. She said the meds must be working because she thought that Morgan was going to flip. I thought so too.
No, but I feel like Morgan at that moment had to realize because he's the one that pushed Kiki away.
Well, because of Ava.
True.
But he really doesn't want to.
Yeah, but I feel like he can't be mad at that
Right.
situation.
That's why he just had to leave.
Yeah, he just had to swallow it.
And that was the heartbreaking part. Because he didn't walk away because he wanted to.
Yeah, he just saw that. And because I did like right as he talks to Michael after he sees them perform, he's like, I'm going to go backstage. I'm going to go fix something. Like he thought he was just going to sweet talk more Kiki for a second and everything would be fine.
No.
No.
Just stay right there. Just stay there. Don't move.
But and we've talked about this many times with Dylan and Kiki, but it's just like finally, just like feel like I see a relationship with Dylan that just kind of like I'm excited to see him be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this also gives him a relationship outside of like the Lulu Valerie nonsense, and I like that Lulu and Maxie were there as his friends. Like that part, I was like, okay, that's great because they really are his friends, and they always have been. Mm-hmm. And it's okay for him to have girlfriends, just like Kiki's kind of friends with Michael. I don't think she has any feelings there anymore. So like I'm sure if they had a moment, it wouldn't be weird. But yeah, and then Nina also, like the way that she's like, y'all made me believe in love again. It was so dramatic, but it was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but so as much as you're cool with that, what about though? Valerie and Curtis and Hayden.
That was just weird. I feel bad for Valerie.
What are they doing with Valerie and Curtis?
Because there's nothing to do with her. We all know that
she just needs a break for a little while, just.
Because I do like when she comes in on the red carpet with Curtis. That again, Donnie knows like, oh yeah, well-respected graduate from the police academy. Huh? What?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Right. Yeah. And why is that something to say?
They knew everything.
The fact that they're going to find out, let's break down the guest list, everybody that's coming, and then let's go find out all the details about their lives. Like, oh boy, all right, sure.
And her date.
And
Curtis.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you're looking for dirt on people, a guy that used to be,
Right. Okay.
a federal official that had a cocaine addiction.
I know. Say that stuff.
Yeah, like all that stuff is much more interesting than an outstanding graduate of the Port Charles Police Academy.
I know. And Sarah C says Valerie and Curtis have no chemistry,
None.
and like literally all the comments after that are about Curtis and Hayden. And that's the thing is Valerie, we just don't know where she fits yet.
No.
I can only see Valerie and Curtis as friends. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I just see there's such a great connection between Hayden and Curtis that
It
it's just
sure
like
is.
it's like I don't see why they're trying to force it there with Valerie. And I just feel like Valerie just needs something else going
She's
on.
just a
with
filler.
it. Yeah, which I don't know. I feel like her going and do the I don't know what they're going to do with her. I mean, we haven't even seen her on the force out doing anything yet.
Yeah, because to me, like when the Johnny Sakara thing, that was actually a good potential storyline. I mean, and I'm guessing maybe for personal reasons that may be why that didn't happen with Brandon Barash. But yeah, I mean, couldn't we get someone else like that? Like bring in some sort of criminal to make her like question her loyalty, because that's obviously her big thing. Like. Right. There you go. There's a storyline. That happens for every lady cop.
Yes. Well, and she's got those Spencer roots. I mean, I feel like it's in the Spencer DNA to kind of push the edges and stuff. You want to push the envelope. So, find somebody in your orbit that may be a little dangerous, that may be a little outside the law, but you can't help but be attracted to them. That seems to be right up there with the whole Spencer DNA. Another great act that we have here, Amy. Oh, again, Amy. Like for some reason she thinks like, hey, everybody needs to hear what Robin did her speech. So we got to hear. People want to hear the song. Oh no, I'm not going to be doing it without Sabrina. So Epiphany and Felix, and then I'm going to do it anyway. Enough with this Amy girl. Please, somebody just put a net around her.
I know, and I'm like, she was a fine singer, but I honestly will admit that when Sabrina came in, I was like, okay. Like, I was actually relieved to see Sabrina, because I was like, all right, she did deserve to be in this number. Like,
no, she didn't.
Yeah.
No, she didn't. Like, why? Why does she need to be on stage? Like, girl, go to jail. Go to jail and go back away for There's nothing to do with Sabrina.
I don't know what they're going to do.
What are they doing with these characters? They have no substance. Like, what was Sabrina's purpose to get on stage and sing?
No.
After you just been rescued with a gun pointed to your head. What are you doing?
It's the nurse's ball. She brought it back. Like, and that was the thing. It's like, okay, it was pretty dumb to do it, but I was like, okay, at least it made sense because of the nurse's ball, and she brought it back, and she actually made sense to be singing that because, as I said, that was her song. But the thing is, yeah, girl, that was dumb,
Well, so we have the week she's being held at gunpoint. All of a sudden, Michael busts in. Yes. Michael Corinthos, action hero.
I'm thinking, in my head, why are you fighting if you got your daddy? That's a big time mob. Like, why?
Yeah, you don't need to. You just want to say Corinthos. Yeah.
Just walk in. Just walk in, Michael. You don't have to do no work, nothing. I didn't understand. This week, I was all confused.
Yeah, the Michael and Sabrina thing, I don't know why they continue to push it. Like, because to me, it's just like, Teresa Castillo is a good actress, and I kind of wish they would give her more to do. But at this point, yeah, like, maybe sending her to jail might actually, make people like her. Like, give her something. But with this Michael-Sabrina love story, I believe Carly spoke for the audience, months ago. No one sees this.
Yes.
It is just odd.
Well, and you're thinking, all right, maybe since she was away from maternity leave, and we've only seen Michael kind of pine away from her, and we didn't really enjoy that. But maybe, getting them reunited. Maybe we'll see, a spark that we didn't see the first time out.
Yeah, we do have new writers, and that's why I'm like, okay, we'll give them a chance. But just very little to do with them. Okay?
I don't want to see Michael or anybody right now.
You put him in the background, that's fine.
There was no spark when they got reunited. I'm like, oh boy.
It was so boring.
Yes.
Oh my God, Michael.
Yeah, because there's just no conflict there, I think, is why it's so boring. Okay, she was a nurse, and not really a rich kid like Michael, but, they didn't do some she's all that, number there with them. It was just like, oh, we love each other. Let's get...
Yeah, and the storyline that they seem to be poised to be setting her up for does not look to be... now you're making Tracy Quartermaine look like a dum-dum. Right. Because the idea is now that Tracy has Edward, Sabrina's daughter that she named after her father. She does not want to give it up because she feels like, I am the legal custodian of this child. Get it together, Tracy. What are you doing? I feel like Tracy, for as awesome as she was, everything with Finn leading up with this, Dr. Maddox, Dr. Marsh, and all that. What was this? How's Tracy thinking that this is she can do this?
Well, to me, I had no problem with the baby thing until Sabrina came in, and then she was like, no. And I was like, wait a minute. It was cute when she was actually caring for the baby, thinking that it's gone, and that was her friend. Yeah. But just the quick turn on, no, you can't, because Sabrina was really only coming to see the baby. She wasn't even going to take it.
Wait,
it was
but
just
didn't
very
she give
odd.
the baby away? Like,
she didn't. I mean, she had her aunt or whatever. Deliver the baby to the Quartermaines.
so why is she trying to take it back?
Well, because now that she's no longer being held hostage
No, by
by Carlos's brother, I guess. Yeah.
No, I mean by Sabrina. Like, get out of here.
Oh, by.
Like you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Tracy has no. I mean, come on. The real mother of this child has come back and wants to take the child.
Yeah, and she claimed it was her friend too. That was my issue with
Yes.
Tracy doing that, because she was like wanting to take care of the baby as Sabrina's friend. And that was really nice to see Tracy doing that, and she had really cute scenes with this baby. But then when Sabrina comes in, she's like, "No,
I'm the parental.
no." I was like, "Wait,
nice.
what?"
Yeah,
I was like, you better keep that baby, Tracy.
and I don't understand because it's like I haven't seen like after Tracy gets out of the hospital and stuff. But I mean, she hasn't been like pining away like I have empty nest syndrome or anything. I mean, she's got Dylan and she's got Ned both right there. So I don't know why she feels this need that she needs to have what this child is bringing to her.
Attention, like she's. I don't know. I just think it's cute.
It's awful. I can't. I feel like Tracy is just made to seem more dumb by deliberately not letting Sabrina have her child back.
Yeah, because that was really the only thing that bothered me about that. Because it's like, wait, where did that come from?
Yeah. As you're right, Chris. Like for people that have said like your friends, they'll also be like, "Nah, you can't have your baby back. Sorry, no way." Other storyline here, we've got Brad and Lucas. The lovely couple are going to have their nuptials at the nurses' ball. Everybody's very excited. Yes, a lot of big surprises. They're being very, very coy on the red carpet about like the big surprises that are coming. And good old Nurse Bobby, clearly so exhausted from the great raps that she threw down at the beginning, passes out. Oh man! So Lucas then takes her to the hospital, but of course, thankfully, passes on that information to Amy, who again shows why she's just an irritating character because she's just always on her phone, right there at the red carpet, like taking pictures of herself. Like,
She's such a millennial, and I honestly, as someone who is a millennial, I hate millennial characters on TV. I will just straight up say it, because then it's like I'm around those people too, and I know they're annoying, so I don't want to see them on my screen.
Yeah.
The girl that's always like this, like, what's going on? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys.
Yeah.
He left and he'll be back.
Yeah. Oops. I totally forgot
Something
that huge
happened.
news.
yeah, and especially I'm trying to think like in reality, a nurse, a profession where listening and relaying information is essential.
Yes.
To your job. To then also not remember any of this information, and even then when you kind of vaguely recall something happened, to just barely give like the bare minimum of what you're supposed to, like, oh yeah, he had to go to the hospital. Like, don't mention anything else, but that's fine. Yeah.
And I'm just like, maybe Amy's purpose is to make Sabrina more likable. Because that's the thing. It's like,
Well,
well,
it's
at
not
least
really
Sabrina
working.
was a decent nurse. God.
Yeah. I mean,
People are really
Yeah.
going ham on me in this chat room.
lay it on me. Let's see what's going on. What's going on?
But I do not feel sorry for Sabrina. She made a conscious decision to leave with Carlos. She knows what that's going to bring, knowing the heat that was on Carlos. So this whole baby situation, I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry that Tracy has the baby and don't want to give it back. It was her fault. It was Sabrina's fault why the baby had to get put somewhere safe.
Well, yeah. But,
So
I
I don't feel sorry for her at all.
I don't feel. I mean, Sabrina's certainly dug her own grave for this, but in a sense, she was trying to get her baby out of a dangerous situation. So in that respect,
could have been prevented.
Could have been prevented, but it's like also. But I don't think that's grounds for Tracy not giving her child back. It's not like Sabrina, other than having that bad, that bad decision to follow Carlos.
Tracy-
Yeah,
It's
she's
just-
usually a good person.
Tracy is just really thirsty to find someone to, in like a Quartermaine hair, basically. So she's gonna use this baby to do what she needs right now.
You've got several other Quartermaine heirs, though. I mean, you've got Jake. You've got.
Where's
Do you
Jake?
really want
Where's
Jake to be your heir?
Where is Jake? Getting therapy.
I guess we should talk about Jake.
Yes. So we'll talk about little baby Jake in just a second. So
Yeah.
we do have Lucas.
I was like, that happened.
Yes, takes Bobby to the hospital. And then we find out like this somebody that's been mysteriously injecting these patients and killing them is going to do the same to Bobby. And Lucas walks in on it. And we find out that he gets injected with whatever substances that was going to be. So
Is he leaving? Like, is he gonna die?
I don't know. I certainly sense the thing he's a younger gentleman. What the dosage that he gets is not lethal to him, but certainly does put him in dire straits.
Right.
Yes, because with all the patients that have died were older. So that actually, I was like, okay, that was actually a good point to make. And then a believable medical thing just happened on General Hospital. I was like, whoa, he might not die because all these other patients are old. Okay. They thought of something.
Yeah. To which we do have those awkward moments at the nurses' ball where everybody thinks like, "Where's Lucas? Where's Lucas?" We're gonna take a quick break, Lucico, and some ceremonies. We're gonna take a quick break. And then Bobby's phone call, or when Brad does call and Bobby picks up the cell phone. You don't tell anybody, but you need to get her to the hospital, and you know what that means, right? Like, all right, cool. I mean, at least Brad was cool with Felix. The little code, like, oh, I gotta go. He's just at the hospital.
Right.
Check it out. But so we don't have the wedding. We don't have that. What do you guys?
Which is good. I know James is happy because maybe we could have their own separate wedding.
Me too. I think that I was kind of glad that this happened because I want a big gay wedding too, and I want Britt to be standing up there for Brad. Like, make it happen, guys.
And when you put it like that, that makes me think, like, do you set this up to have them have some terrible pitfall so that when it does happen, everybody wants it to happen and it's treated as a celebration that it should be? Where it's like, if you had just like given them this huge ornate celebration to begin with, would people have been like, oh gosh, we haven't really seen them at all?
A lot of people did feel some way that they were just going to throw their wedding into the nurses' ball.
Yeah.
So I guess it's okay that something like this kind of happened. Maybe they will or they won't.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like it's a reason to get invested in these two characters when they haven't been on the canvas very much.
Right.
To all of a sudden, like, to just throw their wedding could have just been considered as an afterthought. But now there's
I
some
would like to
stakes.
see more of these two before a wedding because we don't see them at all. And if we do, it's 5-minute scenes, if that.
And I think maybe now that their schedules are, better, it appears, and that they're actually giving them this story, we might be able to get that because it appears that, Brad actually had a great scene when he's like tearful with Bobby. I was like, wow, I've never actually seen Perry Chin be able to do that. And that's why I'm like, okay, well, maybe the whole point of this is to give them a story and then give them a big wedding. So we're not, and also they probably got a lot of hate, not just from us, or people saying, no, don't make this gay wedding the nurses' ball when we've never done that on GH before. It should be better.
It'll be nice to see, because I feel like certainly Brad is going to have some different things to play than he's had a chance to in the past.
I see Josephina Robinson had asked, do we think that Dr. Finn is being set up?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, because I think that's the whole point, and I don't think it's Ulbricht, and it's certainly not Dr. Monroe. It's going to be somebody else at the hospital, or maybe somebody from the past.
That knows that what he's done.
What about Dr. Mays? Do you think it's Dr. Mays?
Yeah, I honestly thought it was like, if anybody on campus, Dr. Mays maybe, but to be honest, it's just, that would be really random. They would have to explain why, other than Finn kind of showed him up in the beginning, but I mean, he was arrogant, so that could be.
And that actor is coming back for a couple episodes in the next couple weeks. So, but I don't know if that's enough to kind of like, kind of cinch up, like wrap up the storyline, or just or eliminate him as a suspect.
Yeah, or we could only hope it was Nurse Amy, but she was at the ball, so maybe it's because I remember the last time they did this storyline, it was when they had that night shift, and it was Spinelli's girlfriend that went on to play Babe. It's like she was the nurse killing all the people. It's like you
I
already
thought
did
this
that.
too. I thought this. Nellie Mac 91 said Obrecht could. She might be the killer, her crazy behind.
I don't think so. They're making her too obvious to want to set him up, and the fact is, I think that they're actually giving Ulbricht more story, and you can't really make her a killer again.
Yeah, I think that's a red herring. I think she wants to find out who that is, but it mistakenly thinks it's Finn. Everything's being pointed to make it look like it is Finn.
Because I'm thinking maybe Finn might be quitting sooner or later, like he did his other job.
And I'll be curious, like, why Finn's being targeted, and perhaps if this has anything to do with somebody knowing about Finn's past and why he's getting all these injunctions and all that stuff. Yeah. So, as Lacretia said, we'll touch back briefly to the nurse's ball, and we've got little baby Jake with his song that, for some reason, I do like the idea that, this kid who's been in a hospital for a while, has been at Shriners Hospital for Kids.
Yes.
Given everything that's happened to him, then what are we going to do? The first thing, let's put him up in public in front of everybody and make him sing. And it's going to go swimmingly.
Yeah, I was just like, this was so just a setup for Franco to come in and save the day. And honestly, I liked that because I'm sort of on Franco's side over Jason because he really is being there for the kid. And seemingly not so creepy like he normally is.
Yeah,
I know.
But it seems like it's so hard given everything that Franco's done, at least from Jason's point of view.
From Jason's point of view, I get. But.
For certain. He has not had the years like Elizabeth has to kind of see a different side of Franco kind of come out and develop. But I don't know. I feel like I can understand certainly Jason's point of view about like I do not want this guy
around my
child
son
whatsoever. So it's tough, but I do like Franco and Jake's relationship, though.
It's sweet, and honestly, I like him with Liz. As whether it's a friendship or more than that, like I like this dynamic.
I would be so mad if he decided to, pursue some things with Liz.
It's just so sad that with Franco's character, it's hard for me to invest in him as a long-term romantic character because they've basically broken each of the relationships that were supposedly like really good for him.
Well, to me, the thing with Nina, like. I feel like they ended on a decent amount of terms that they could come back together. Because, it really was about a baby and not so much that they didn't love each other. It's just that they didn't want the same things. But, I mean, hey, that How I Met Your Mother ends like that. They get back together.
Yeah.
Just have kids with someone else and then they'll die and then... That's how it works.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Franco and Liz will be playing the long game for this. That's right. They're going to come back together. Or Franco and Nino, sorry. I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, I do like every time that Jason sees Franco. It's just like,
he just hates
this quietly seething. Where it's like, all right, fine.
And to me, it's just... I mean, Billy Miller honestly plays it so well, though. It's like he just hates to be around him. He hates to be there. And Franco enjoys it, I think. Yeah. It's like,
Now, we'll jump to a little bit more about Jason in a second, but it was talking about, like, tension between people. We finally see some tension break between Carly and Ava. Good old-fashioned cat fight happens.
Finally!
I just was a little disappointed it wasn't more. I was like, I did love them fighting, and I
For
get it's in the
them
bathroom.
to be taking off their jewelry, their heels. If my heels come off,
it's going down.
Oh, you will die. It's time to get you. But they did too much for what it was leading up to. I was like, oh, come on. Like, you just push each other around?
Yeah, that was me. I was like, I want some slaps. I mean,
I want somebody had to go in the toilet or something. Like, it was just too little for me.
Swirly. Like,
well, we have Carly looking for evidence. She's specifically looking for that recording saying of Ava confessing to killing our good old Sonny's.
The DA has it.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't know who has it right now, but Paul's got it currently right now. Connie Falconeri confessing to killing her. So looks around her apartment and just conveniently just shakes like the little mixing bowl.
Yeah, the martini shaker.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wait, could it be this easy? And pulls out a flash drive, but it has a sex recording of
I was like, Ava, what?
I love how Ava was just like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Who cares?
It's just sex, Paul. Like, come on.
But is that I mean, if you guys are going to have a flash drive where you've recorded you having sex with somebody, are you going to put it in a martini shaker?
Depends on how much you drink. Like,
so
she's like, come on.
Yeah, do you use it or?
Oh, yeah. So she has that thing. She thinks she has the upper hand on Ava, and Ava's just like, all right, this is it, man. I do like a good old throw it on. And the way it ends, where she smacks the phone out and then wrestles the flash drive and then flushes it down the toilet and thinks like, that's it. I got it.
I knew it was a reason why Carly didn't go after her after she grabbed it to put it in the toilet.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, Carly has to have it backed up somewhere. Like,
she's like, it's already in the cloud.
She's not that crazy.
It's in the cloud. And I do like Ava just sitting in the toilet, just like sulking. Now, Ava doesn't think it's such a big deal, but Paul, on the other hand, he's like, no, I can't have this getting out. What's the little thing about it? Like a sex scandal. It's good for office.
Yeah, and that was my thing, too. It's like, really? He's that bothered by it? Because, I mean, we've seen, in the real world that sex scandals actually help you.
Yeah. But I guess the only reason that Ava can't just let it go is that Paul does have that incriminating evidence of her confessing to Connie Falconeri.
Apparently she's still going to go get Avery, so obviously she don't care that much about it.
Now she's finally just going back and getting them. I think is that. We got last thing with as we're getting back to Jason talking about it. We finally have Curtis Hayden and Nicholas talking about like the diamonds. Come back with me, Hayden, and I'll give you these diamonds right away. Curtis does not want to let Hayden out of his sight, and but he's Nicholas. I like taking nice little photos of the diamonds, texting them to Hayden. Come back and get this.
Yeah, and I'm like, Hayden's supposed to be smart. But yeah, like even Curtis called her out on reading that, and then
agree.
always going, "But oh no, he's not. He loves me," and it's just like. Bitch, you dumb. So
Real
it's
dumb.
Like, I love Hayden because I love Rebecca Budding, but it's just like, wow, how can he be so stupid? He is clearly done with you. You saw that red carpet.
I think he staged.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, he was waiting for her.
Oh
to
yeah,
get
I think he's
home.
framing her.
Yeah, that's why that ring that was left out there.
Oh,
Was that
a ring?
cufflink?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a cuff. I couldn't see. I was like, what is that? But he staged all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because as soon as Jason walked in the room, he may have maybe jumped out or something out the window.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Jason basically comes back because Nicholas has put a court order there, suing Jason because he thinks that the money that used to purchase ELQ from Nicholas was used with ill-gotten gains, even though Spinelli, a master money launderer, has made sure it's all clean.
Right.
He decides rather than tell Michael that hey, I'm having trouble with that. He goes over to Windermere. Nicholas is crashed out, looking on the ground. Which I'm like thinking, even if Nicholas staged, Nicholas stages. Do you think he smashed the window and then because he must have thrown himself out?
He was waiting
right?
for her to come in because she said I was on my way.
Yeah.
So when Jason came in the room, I think he was hoping that it was going to be Hayden that was coming in.
Yeah, maybe that's what because we don't hear the sound until the door opens.
Right.
And so I think he staged it. He jumps through the window, but I guess obviously where he thought he wouldn't get hurt that bad.
Right.
Yeah. So he's basically MIA. And that was the week that was in Port Charles. Super fast. Lots of stuff to talk about. Sadly, not enough time to do it all.
I know.
All right. So
big week this week.
Yeah. So super fast. Well, let's do our little quick segments here. The winner and loser.
Well, I know it's kind of odd, but I just wanted to give the winner this week to Dante because he was actually kind of adorable. And that doesn't normally happen. But yeah, when he's like, oh, I got the dad bod, and like as lame as the situation was with Lulu on the stage, he was like, yay. My wife loves me again. And honorable mention to Sam because she was the best dressed in my opinion.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, and then I guess my loser of the week has to go to Nicholas because, yeah, as I said, there's no other word to describe you other than douche that I can say on the air.
Not good. All right, Ladine, love in the afternoon.
This week, I actually loved both Carly and Ava this week. I love Carly's quick thinking. You know, she really wants Avery in Sonny's life, so I like that, you know, she went in and got what she needed. But I also kind of started liking Ava because of the little recording that Carly found. Like,
You like the Ava getting her kink on, huh?
it gave me a little bit more to like about Ava, I guess. I guess I didn't expect that, so that was like something that I really loved this week.
Oh, and get him to the ER stat for me. Nurse Amy, please. Come on, you're killing me. You're killing me. This nurse's ball was sadly, regardless of actors aside, but just the character alone, just made this nurse's ball even more excruciating than it normally is for me. So that was everything that happened here in the week that was in Port Charles. We're going to wrap it up super fast here.
Yeah.
There you go. As I
Super
said,
fast.
Thanks so much for watching. Like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Continue the conversation with us on Twitter, even when the show is done. Lacretia, where can they find you?
As always, you can find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on social media.
You can find me on Twitter at Ladine_Harvey and Facebook Ladine Corinthos Harvey.
And you can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. We'll see you here next week. Papa Bear will be back here in the big seat here. Yes. All will be right in the world. So you'll be blessed to not have me in the lead seat finally. So there you go. We'll see you next week here on the GH Report here on AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.